In the quaint village of Willow Creek, nestled beside the Whispering Woods, lived a young woman named Alara. She was known for her kind heart and adventurous spirit, but lately, a shadow of doubt had crept into her soul. Alara dreamt of exploring the legendary crystal caves, rumored to hold untold wonders, but fear held her back. She worried about the dangers that might lurk within, and doubted her own ability to overcome them. One day, an old traveler arrived in Willow Creek, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. He told Alara tales of his own adventures, of facing his fears and discovering his hidden strengths. Inspired, Alara resolved to embark on her journey. The path to the crystal caves was fraught with challenges. Alara had to navigate treacherous ravines, decipher ancient riddles, and outsmart cunning creatures. Each obstacle tested her courage and resourcefulness. Finally, after days of relentless pursuit, Alara stood before the entrance to the crystal caves. The air shimmered with magic, and the entrance glowed with an ethereal light. She took a deep breath and stepped inside. Inside, the caves were even more breathtaking than she had imagined. Giant crystals sparkled like 1,000 stars, illuminating vast chambers filled with strange and wondrous formations. She had overcome her fears and found a world of beauty. Alara returned to Willow Creek, no longer the timid girl she once was. She had faced her fears and discovered her own inner strength. From that day on, she inspired others to pursue their dreams, no matter how daunting they might seem. In the ethereal realm of Aethelgard, where echoes of forgotten songs linger, resided Alara, a navigator of lost memories. Her eyes, pools of ancient starlight, held the wisdom of ages, and her heart resonated with the whispers of forgotten souls. She was the guardian of Echo Isle, a sanctuary where the past danced with the present. One day, a shadow fell upon Aethelgard. A malevolent entity known as the Void Weaver sought to unravel the fabric of time, erasing the memories that gave the realm its life. Its tendrils of darkness crept across the land, silencing the echoes and dimming the starlight. Alara knew she had to act. With her staff of resonant crystal, she embarked on a perilous journey to the heart of the Shadowlands, where the Void Weaver dwelled. Captain Isabella, Izzy, Diaz was a legend, or rather, was a legend. Once celebrated for charting the treacherous currents of the Azure Sea, she'd become a recluse after a devastating shipwreck cost her entire crew, and the ship, the Sea Serpent. Haunted by the echoes of the storm and the faces of her lost sailors, Izzy retreated to a dilapidated lighthouse on the edge of the world, content to let her maps gather dust. Years passed. Izzy was now wizened and weathered. One day, a small, battered sailboat limped into view. Aboard was Kai, a young fisherman, desperate to reach the remote island of Veritas. Veritas, legend whispered, held the only known source of the Lumina bloom, a rare flower said to cure a mysterious, rapidly spreading blindness that threatened his entire village. The current charts of the sea were outdated and inaccurate. Kai had heard rumors of the legendary Izzy Diaz, and his village urged him to find her. Izzy initially refused to help Kai, the sea serpent's destruction still weighing heavily on her. However, seeing Kai's desperation and the urgency surrounding the Lumina bloom, she recognized a reflection of her own pain. The Lumina bloom's light was a glimmer of hope in darkness, and after some consideration, Izzy agrees to use her navigation skills to find the uncharted path to Veritas. Their journey was fraught with peril. The Azure Sea lived up to its treacherous reputation. Ancient, unmapped whirlpools threatened to swallow their small boat whole. Ghostly fog banks, said to hold the echoes of lost ships, disoriented them. Izzy, despite her fear, found her instincts returning. She remembered the language of the waves, the whispers of the wind. She used the stars and tides, just like in the past. The climax arrived as they entered the shifting sands, a vast, shallow area with a constantly changing seabed, making navigation nearly impossible. A colossal storm brewed on the horizon. Kai was losing hope, convinced they were doomed. Izzy, looking at the sands and storm, finally faced her inner demons. She saw the faces of her crew again, not as accusing ghosts, but as urging shadows. She remembered the lessons they taught her, the love they had for each other. Summoning her last reserves of courage, she used her knowledge of the sea and winds and trusted her instincts. Using her old compass and the celestial navigation book by her late wife, Izzy successfully navigates the shifting sands right before the eye of the storm engulfed their sail. They reached Veritas, its shores glowing with the ethereal light of the Lumina bloom. Kai gathered the precious flowers as Izzy watched him, a single tear tracing a path down her weathered cheek. They returned to Kai's village, saved by the Lumina bloom. Izzy finds purpose and love again, training Kai as a navigator. Izzy stands at the helm of the Lumina, a newly built ship, her eyes reflecting sadness and hope. She's ready to sail the Azure Sea, a beacon for others. The final shot shows a map of the Azure Sea with newly charted routes, bearing Izzy Diaz's name.